Hey YouTube, Orlando here, and I want to make a video today on something that I did yesterday with my phone, and I figured something out, and I was really happy, so I want to share it with the world. Okay, if you have a phone, if you're transferring, this is on a Samsung phone. I don't know if it works on every other phone. I have an S22. I had an S22, and I went to an S23. It should work on all Samsungs and possibly on other phones. I'm not sure. Okay, so if you're transferring your stuff, if you bought a new phone or a used phone like I did, and you want to transfer all your stuff and you get everything, but you don't get Google Messages, this is what worked for me. As you know, at least on Samsung, they don't support Samsung Messages anymore. So you have to, they force you to. Like when you open it up, for the longest time, it would say, we're no longer, you got till this date, such and such date to change. And then it has a button that says switch now. So you could switch like immediately if you wanted to Google Messages instead of Samsung Messages. And I did it, and I liked it, and I had no problem with Google Messages. I actually like the app; it's pretty cool. So, but when I transferred, I used Smart Switch, which is the app that Samsung has when you buy a new phone or a used phone or whatever, and you want to transfer all your stuff. So, I transferred everything, and everything went through except my messages and my chat history. And I'm like, man. So I tried again, whatever. I spent hours. I spent probably 4 hours or 5 hours yesterday just doing this. So, and I was losing my mind. I couldn't get this to work. So, and so I went on Grok, I went on ChatGPT, I went everywhere, and they're like, do this, do that, download this app on both phones, and make a copy, make a backup of all your messages, and then put it on the cloud, put it on the Google Drive, and then go to your new phone. A million things. Some of the stuff was like, check and see if you can sync your phone, pair it with another phone, with your other phone. I did that. Pair it with the computer. I did that. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and nothing will work, right? And so while I'm downloading and uploading all my message history, because I was trying to do one of the methods, it was taking forever. It was hours. But in the meantime, I'm still grokking and Googling and watching YouTube videos and trying to figure this out, right? And people on YouTube, I couldn't find anything. So long story short, I go to, it says, so I go to my messaging, to my Samsung messaging app, and it gives me the pop-up saying I got to switch and blah, blah. So I just ignore it, and I will go back. And when I go back, there is no, I have no messages. It's blank. So, and by the way, if you have a Samsung phone, you should still have that app on your phone unless you deleted it. If not, I think you can still get it at the Samsung store. It's Samsung Messages. You should be able to still download it, I think. So, I went, and I'm like, I don't have nothing on here. So what I did was I went to settings, apps, what are default apps, blah blah blah, and where you can make your default apps for whatever your default browser, your default messages. So I made Samsung Messages my default app instead of Google Messages. But, and again, every time you open it, it says you got to change. They no longer support it or whatever. It's going to disappear. Whatever it says, I don't remember what it says. I made it my default app, and then I opened it again. It took a little while because I guess it's pulling messages or whatever it was doing. So it started, it populated with all my messages, or at least the first page, all my messages. I guess it was pulling, right? So I'm like, great. So I'm like, why didn't I have messages? Why did they disappear the first time? When did Google Messages take all my messages? I don't understand. I really don't know what happened. But, so I tell Grok, hey, what if I do this, and I pull from, and he's like, no, that's not the reason. And so AI is not always, don't trust AI all the time, okay? So, and I'm like, because I'm thinking in my head, well, maybe Samsung screwed up and they're not pulling from Google Messages, your chat history. They're still pulling as of July the 8th. They're still pulling, I think, and this is probably what's happening because it worked for me, from Samsung Messages, your chat history. And when you open it up, if you're using Google Messages on your old phone and you open up your Samsung Messages, there's nothing there. So there's nothing there. There's nothing to pull to your new. There's nothing to transfer to your new phone. You know what I mean? So once I had Messages, I'm excited. I'm like, I think I got something to pull now. So I went over to my Google Mess. I went over to my. I opened the Smart Switch app again, and I transferred again. And you can transfer only certain things if you want to. You don't have to transfer the whole phone again. So I transferred my Messages, and it asked you, do you want 6 months? Do you want 2 years? Do you want whatever? I said, I want everything. So it started transferring, and then it said it's going to take like 31 minutes, and it did take about 31 minutes, and I was happy because it was actually working. It was like, you could see it doing something. It wasn't like 5 minutes later, it said it transferred, and it didn't transfer anything. So I'm like, something's different. Something's working, and it was taking longer. So I just laid the phones down, left, came back, 30 minutes later or whatever, and I opened. Oh, and what I also did, and I don't know if I had to do this step, was I made, on my new phone, I made Samsung Messages my default app also. And again, every time you do it and you hit the Messages, it'll say, switch, you got to switch. This is no longer supported. It has a message telling you can't use this app anymore. Whatever, but it doesn't matter. Use it. I don't know if you have to do it on your new phone, but I was sick and tired of playing with the phones and trying to get this thing to work. So I wanted to go from this app to this app. So I made them both defaults. Maybe it would have passed them anyway, even if my new phone wasn't default. But I don't want to know. Okay, I just want to be. So I made them both defaults. My old phone populated after a while. I was happy as hell. I did Smart Switch. I transferred from my old phone to my new phone, and they were both default apps. The old app, Samsung Messages, the old app. Google Messages was not my default app anymore on both phones. Transferred, opened my new phone, my Messages were there. It does have a pop-up sign on the top that says that it's indexing, and it's, it'll take a while, and some of your messages may not appear because you just downloaded 15 years or whatever of Messages. And so it's, it's working. It's sorting everything out, putting all the messages in order, whatever it has to do. So I left it. I waited. I didn't transfer because I was going to make the next step is to make Google Messages your default app. You go back into settings, the default apps, whatever, default apps, whatever. I can't remember. Okay, I'm not savvy with this, but I can do it. It takes me a while. And then you could choose your default app for messaging. So I waited a little while because I wanted to index and do its thing. And after 20 minutes or whatever I waited, I can't remember, I just left it again. I made Google Messages my default app. Voila. Everything worked. So I'm super happy. It's a pain in the ass. I don't know why Samsung pulls from. It has to be what's happening. It's pulling from Samsung Messages. And Samsung Messages, if you have that phone, if you have a phone, Samsung phone, and you're using Google Messages, and you go right now and pull up your Samsung Messages, even if you haven't made it your default app yet, you won't have nothing in it. Why? I don't know. You won't have nothing in it. So when Samsung's transferring, there's nothing to transfer. There's nothing in it. Make it your default app. Let it populate again. It'll populate again because it's your default app, so the phone knows what to do. I don't know. It just pulls again from Google Messages or whatever. It fills up your Samsung Messages and then transfer. And it'll pull from Samsung Messages and you should be good. Hope it helps some people. Take care. I'll see you guys later.